on my iPhone because this SD card needs to be reformatted. So today, working on this turd, and we got a lot of parts for it. So let's go over them here. I got 0205 speed for it. This is currently automatic. I don't know if you've seen in the video when we did like the interior swap and stuff, but thing's kind of dirty looking actually right now from sitting, but we still got to put the headliner back in. But the dash is holding up for anybody who's wondering. Since we painted it, it actually matches the door panels extremely well. We got new control arms, new motor mounts in it already, and then I went to get it inspected, and on my way there blew the transmission. So yeah, here's an 0205 speed. We got that. I have a brand new clutch cable because I don't have the tool to realign the clutch cable. Manual cluster that I believe the mileage is supposed to match. We'll see. I got the center console piece, axles, flywheel, clutch. Clutch is not important. Let's just do that. Shifter assembly, pedal set. That's to make a shift knob. I don't know if I ever did a video on that, but my favorite shift knob is a Vans & Colt grip on a 7/8 piece of tubing. So we're gonna build that. So we got the shifter assembly, shifter mechanics. I also picked up this 2.5-inch stainless exhaust. That was on the car that I was working on at the junkyard. And it came with these headers with this really crappy looking pipe on it. So I'm gonna fix that up. We'll throw that on as well. What a mess. It's out. I didn't film it because it was terrible. So I got, this is all ready to go in. I need to clean that up with some brake cleaner, so I'm gonna throw that in, and that will get everything ready for the trans to go back in, and then I'm gonna start working on swapping my pedals and stuff. So we'll do that next. It's in. Okay, so that took me a while. I don't understand why, but it just took me a little bit to figure out the not the flywheel, because the flywheel's on the outside on these. It's weird. So the pressure plate, it took me a little while to figure out the centerpiece for the pressure plate. It kind of freaked me out a little bit, but that's on. Probably not going to do the shifter tonight yet, because I do have to move the exhaust, take the exhaust off, which is when I'll swap the exhaust. So I'll probably do that tomorrow morning. I am going to try and get the clutch pedal in right now. Okay, first step to getting your thing in there.
That's what she said!
So you can see that. There's a little bit of light. There's a small hole there. I'll put an arrow there so you can see that. That is where we're going to want to put our clutch cable through. So I'm going to run that through so I have an idea where that's going to sit. Okay. I'm back. It's later the next day. Did swap the pedal set. That's ready to go. I'm actually working on swapping the cluster right now. And that's the stick cluster that came out of the car I got the pedal set from, I believe. Mileage is close. I think it's a little bit more, but it is what it is, so that's fine. I also relocated our oil pressure gauge there. I need to make a bezel for that. That was just stuffed down in there, and I had to actually move it because the oil line coming into that came through the clutch pedal, the clutch cable hole in the firewall, so I ended up just changing that out. But I'm gonna get that put back in place. Then we're gonna start pulling the exhaust off so I can change the shifter out. That is in, looking good. The inside of it's like kind of cloudy, so I might take it back out eventually and clean it up, but I'll go ahead and throw the dash back together then. But I really want to get started on swapping out our automatic shifters for our stick shifter assembly. We'll go ahead, start taking the center console here apart, see what I got to do to get that out. I think I might have to pull the whole center console up for this, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna get the shift knob off, get that up, pull all that out. We need an Allen key here, number 3. Gonna have to loosen that up, and that just pulls right off. Won't be needing that anymore. And this should just be able to pull it off, actually. Look at that. Don't need that anymore either. I believe that's our cable right there, our cable attachment there. And then I have 1 bolt back in here, and I think there's 2 underneath the car. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen those out. Hopefully I can just pull that cable out of the way. Okay, so that's our lockout for park. So I'm just gonna unhook that. We'll just tuck it back in because I don't really feel like screwing with the key and stuff. So I'm gonna get some tools, be right back. Now we gotta get that big old bolt off. Okay, now we're gonna go into the car. Okay, so I found out I gotta take the whole exhaust off and take the shields off to get to our lines. Now, to get under there, I need to jack the back of my car up, but I'm worried this engine is not very stable, so what I'm gonna do is put the transmission back in first, and then we will go ahead and get all the motor mounts back on and everything, get the whole front end tied back together except for the battery and stuff, and then I can take all the shields and stuff back off and swap our shifter out. Before I put the trans back in, now I have a coolant line here that went to 2 coolant lines actually that I need to delete because they went to the transmission cooler. So I have to just swap some lines around. That's what I'm gonna do right now. Shifter needs adjusted really bad. We're going. I did drive it home last night. I think it's really noisy because the roof rack's on. But I did drive it last night and it seems okay. The shifter still needs adjusted and the bushings are shot, but it does run and drive good now. So I have a couple things I got to do today, including some things involving some, this is gonna be great. So I think I cut it off because I was having issues with clutch or something. I don't remember where I left off, but the car is good to go now. Runs and drives. We got the reverse lights wired up. Had a couple issues with the oil pressure gauge since I moved it. I just have it unhooked right now because since I unhooked it, or since I moved it, it was just leaking. So what I did instead was just delete it for now. I want to get a electronic one instead of mechanical, so that's fine anyway. So that's what the wetness is down in there. That's just oil, but we're good. I reset the oil. Oh, look at that. Just get rid of that. Nobody needs to know that it's R134 anyway. All right. Today I'm wiring up a horn, and we're gonna test out some stereo stuff. So let me get a spot made up here. I'll show you what I got. That's for the horn because my horn don't work. That's a I don't even know what gen this is from, who knows. But that's a Kenwood sub. I'm out of subwoofers, I don't have any left. This is the last one, this is an 8. That should bump pretty good until I get something else for now. But that's the box from the stereo. There's some wiring and stuff in there I might need. And in this old storage box, that's a 4-in-1 audio cable and REM wire. Don't really have to use that, but that'll be pretty solid. Those are some crossovers. This amp, I'm not going to use all of it. I'm not going to always use that amp. This is a Planet Audio 1200. I believe it's a 4-channel, yeah. Which is actually, that's a pretty decent amp. I'm not going to use that one though, totally. I'm going to use that for bass for now. But I have another amp in mind which will kind of match this one here. So this, oh, this is Holy Grail right here. Let's see if there's, is there, it doesn't say. It's not really Holy Grail, but this is, you probably can't see that, a Sony Explode 500 4-channel. I like kind of grew up on Sony Explode, and the car that I'm building here is like kind of a meant to be a early 2000s build. This will be my speaker amp. They make an identical one that has more black on it.